Hey everybody, Captain Trucker, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you all tuning in. So, I just wanted to give you all an update. I just left the Philippines, got in here from Manila to San Francisco, then flew over to the Dakotas, and I'm here in my new truck. But I had this moment when I was in the Bacolod airport, and I was very tired, and I said to myself, am I really doing this again? And I sort of had this existential moment where I questioned like who I was and why I'm doing this channel, why I'm living in the Philippines, and why I'm a truck driver, right? I think like once upon a time when I was a kid, maybe I wanted to be like an action star or make movies or something. And I thought, geez, I never would have thought of myself as like a truck driver. But over time, I have learned to kind of embrace this role. I was just joking about being an action star, maybe making movies, but maybe I could still make independent films. I had this ambition about making a story, like an independent film about an expat truck driver, right? And I just think there could be a lot of story material to work from there, from adventure to international espionage to romance, and kind of tie it all in. Be kind of interesting, right? Maybe that's a future project we can all do together. But for now, folks, I'm just stuck behind this wheel, and we're approaching winter time, okay? And I haven't really worked a winter in a long time. And I gotta say, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm gonna be in all 48 states likely, because I do reefer hauling with this company and get a lot of long hauls, which is cool. Pay's not as good as some other companies, but it's the stress is not as intense, and you know, just doing like 1 or 2 loads a week, 3,000 plus miles. It's okay, it's not bad. Next year I was thinking about going off to the North Slope in Alaska, and or maybe doing hazmat loads here in the US, in the 48 states, hauling hazmat, because it pays much more. I was thinking about doing 1099 too. It's a lot of misunderstandings about 1099 companies. See, in trucking you can be like a company driver with a W-2, you get the health insurance, taxes taken out, or you can just be a contractor, 1099. Generally it pays more money, but you're responsible for taxes and health insurance. Fortunately for us expats, I do a lot of my health stuff overseas. Like I just did a kind of a dental overhaul in the Philippines recently. Got a bunch of fill-ins done, teeth cleaning, teeth whitening. I had a wisdom tooth extraction. And I did it all for $637 out of pocket. Here in the US, out of pocket, that would have been $3,000 to $5,000, and even with insurance, still would have been significantly more. So, yeah, I was thinking about doing 1099 next year, but we'll see what happens. And I think the trucking industry is it's just an interesting culture. It's an interesting genre. I think, you know, truckers used to be regarded as like America's heroes back in the 50s and 60s and probably 70s, and that's when the pay was really good, adjusted for inflation. But something happened in the 1980s. I think a lot of the corporate cronies started taking more money. There were more regulations, and then even pop culture and the movies started demonizing truck drivers more. So they started kind of painting them as these burnt out serial killers, bad men, villains. And it's just kind of interesting the way they've done that to the culture. Yeah, and it's been like that for a long time. That's why you always see these advertisements for, you know, how much companies love their drivers and stuff. It's basically like a social, psychological overcompensation, because the truth is they don't treat the drivers well. So in the efforts of recruiting, they have to constantly promote the idea that they love their drivers and they treat them like family, right? It's always a weird one when they say that, right? I mean, like, what if you were from some dysfunctional family or you were severely abused? I mean, do you really want to be treated like family? You know, for some guys, who knows? But I see the deterioration of the morale among truckers, and I see the mental health issues, and it's a real tragedy. It really is. Because obviously truckers are very important to the, you know, the economy of the United States and in any country. You know, they say everything pretty much gets brought to you in some way, shape, or form by a truck. So it's too bad to see that happen, but it does. And I'm kind of curious what's going to happen in the future now with, more automation slowly being rolled out and AI advancements. I wonder if the trucking culture will change a little bit. Who knows? So I thought, maybe people like me and others that we could help maybe inspire or shape the culture in a different way. Who knows? But it's really up to us. I say that to drivers, man. It's really too bad to see drivers get stuck and drivers not to have a lot of money in retirement, or people that have to work really, really hard their whole lives. And I would like to see more truckers take advantage of this geo-arbitrage and explore life outside of the United States, become expats, because I think it's just going to be a more viable option for a lot of people in the future as the world is becoming more and more of a smaller place, and we have a lot more information about these developing countries now with social media and vlogging and so forth. I just think that more people are going to be seeking that route, which also makes me wonder if there's going to be a tipping point like in the Philippines culture with regards to the foreigner sentiment, because Filipinos are known for welcoming foreigners, for embracing them, and open arms and smiles. But I wonder if some of that will change if too many of us go there in the future, right? On the channel, I used to talk about neo-social media, like colonialism and stuff. Hello, how's it going? So I was wondering if the culture might change in the future, but you never know, because like social media does shape the perceptions of such places. And it's kind of, one of the reasons I was always talking about vlogging ethics and stuff like that. It's kind of an important topic. So yeah, what does the future hold for the Philippines and foreigners going there? I guess we'll find out, because we don't really even know how many foreigners are currently in the Philippines. So that's always a topic of debate as well. But anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of getting used to this winter idea and trying to get psyched up for it. But I'm not really looking forward to negative 40 degrees in the upper Midwest, because it gets really, really cold here. And I've even heard, guys come down from Alaska and they say it's actually colder here apparently than places in Alaska. I didn't know that. Maybe it has something to do with the Bering Strait and the ocean warms some parts up, who knows, but yeah, it is what it is. But like I said, I was in Bacolod having this existential temporarily, and I said to myself, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Who am I? Where am I going? And I kind of just had to snap out of it, because I think sometimes in life, like if you really think about what you're doing too much, it can kind of work against you, especially when you embark on these trucking adventures, right? Because you go over the road for, last time, for instance, I did 60,000 miles in about 5 months. So when you really wrap your mind around that, like I'm gonna go drive 60,000 miles, hauling these huge machines attached to trailers and all this cargo weight, like it's kind of mind-boggling, because it is like a dangerous job, so it is safety sensitive. You kind of do have to pay attention. So I'm kind of optimistic with regards to the future and autonomous trucks and stuff. I think it will assist drivers for a very long time in terms of, just making it safer to drive, more driver assist type of stuff. And we'll see what happens with that, but yeah, man. Truck driving culture, expat life, the future. This is where it's at, man. I mean, this is life. Yeah, speaking of that, I'm getting into I kind of took a break from the stock market recently, but I'm kind of reevaluating things. So kind of getting into dividend paying stocks and passive income type of stuff. I think it's a good thing, especially in retirement, if you can basically live off passive income without depleting your principal and continue to grow your net worth. That's a very good goal that a lot of people can achieve. And, drivers can achieve it, other people can achieve it, a lot of people can achieve it. It's just a matter of, discipline, saving, being frugal. And I think a lot of it's psychological and behavioral, right? Because I just think we're so conditioned in this culture in America to consumerism, man. I mean, the car has just become such a thing in our culture that really indebts a lot of people. And so if we can like reshape the way we think about being consumers and what our priorities are, I think we can still get ahead if we live more of a minimalistic lifestyle. And that's why I promote homelessness. I'm just joking. No, I used to say though, I was like a professional homeless person because as a truck driver, you spend, well, a lot of time away from family, away from civilization. You sleep in parking lots. Sometimes you urinate in bottles. I don't, but you just do what you got to do, right? And it's kind of like a glorified homeless existence in a way. Yeah. And coincidentally, I mean, truck drivers are kind of treated the same way in society, like society treats homeless people too, basically, with little to no regard, with no love, and they sort of just take them for granted. Because I do think some homeless people are taken for granted, right? Because I believe they have value to society and what they can offer. But anyway, I appreciate you all staying tuned in. If you want to be a part of this revolution, if you want to get outside of the box, if you want to live in a creative way and become your best self, become a master of your own self, please subscribe, join the channel, and leave a comment. I appreciate you all. It's Captain Trucker. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.